Hey guys, I'm not in my regular space. I'm in a car and I wanted to just make this very clear for people who are waiting on the Lord. I have been waiting for a minute. I've been in a time of waiting for several months, and I'm keeping it real. It's very uncomfortable. It's difficult, but I can't learn this leaning and depending on the Lord when a time of breakthrough comes, when a time of being, to speak figuratively, being on the mountaintop, being in a time of where like you're experiencing the Lord's blessing and all that he's pouring into you. But there is something about being poured into now and waiting in the difficult season, waiting in a time where everything seems like it's at a standstill, waiting when it feels like situations are above and beyond your control, waiting upon the Lord, waiting and feeling the pressure, waiting and feeling your heart is just going to explode, like waiting. And I have been feeling that for several months. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, and I believe it's not supposed to feel good because it's a stretching. And it's like, God, when is this going to be over? When is this going to be done? I speak this to those who feel like they're in a situation that's filled with so much pressure. I speak to those who are in difficulty right now. I speak to those who just feel like they want to rip their hair out and be like, I can't do this, God. This has taken every bit of strength in me, and I don't have any more. One thing I've learned in the midst of waiting, especially when something in your heart is just feeling very weighty and your heart is like, you just can't take it anymore. You're like, God, I can't. I have been sorrowful. I have been suffering. And I get it. You just feel like sometimes you have every right to make a decision right then and there, to pull yourself out of that. But God is in that. And it's like, can you wait with the Lord? Sometimes I feel like, Lord, I want to cut off whatever's bothering me because it's ruining and messing with my peace. I want to remove myself from it. When really I know that God wants me to wait along with him. And it sucks because for me, I will take myself out with anything that's ruining my peace, messing with my peace. I will remove myself away from it. I will cut it off. I will never deal with it again. And I have to pause and think, like, me removing myself from something is not the source of my peace. When I try to remove myself, I'm showing that I am my peace. When God's actually wanting me to wait with him and wants me to know that my peace is really himself. That God is the God of peace and he is my peace. And it taught me how to wait and restructure my thinking that there are unhealthy situations where you know you need to remove yourself from, but then there's situations the Lord has permitted and he's causing you to wait with him. So that your heart will learn how to trust in him and that your heart will learn that he is your peace and it's not the situation, not the circumstance that should show you or give you a feeling of peace. But God himself is your peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding. So when the circumstance looks crazy and looks like it's bringing chaos and mayhem into your life, but yet God wants you to just be in that moment with him, be in that that space of waiting with him. It is to understand that, wow, he is the source of my peace. And that's the peace that surpasses all understanding. The situation is hectic, but I have peace. It doesn't make sense, but it surpasses my understanding. That's the type of peace that God brings. And it made me rethink of where my heart should be. And there was times where I had my own go-tos for comfort. And I had my yes much more. I was more excited to say yes to those things. Yes to running for comfort for those things rather than going to God himself. And honestly speaking, they were things that were diverting my attention away from the Lord and actually replacing what the Lord should be for me in those moments. And it's like, do I have idols? Do I have things that I say yes to way more quicker than God himself? And I had to cast down some of the things that I made an idol. And when I tell you, it was like this lightness. Now, it just felt like something went off me. And I'm like, Lord, only by your doing. Because you saw this thing was like a distraction. And it was becoming my go-to for my source of comfort when my heart felt like, I need to do something right now to bring comfort or peace, to find solution in, when I should have turned to you, knowing all along that, yeah, you are my source of peace, you're my comfort. But when moments get me going a little anxious, I'm not as quick to turn to God. Though I know I can talk, like I should go to God first and then talk to a friend afterwards and share how I'm feeling. Not talk to someone or share with someone and then go to God. So I want to encourage you, people who are waiting, don't overlook this time. It sucks. It's difficult. But I think we are to embrace God in the moment of just waiting on him and learning that situations always change, but God remains the same, and to be founded upon him, so that in the tossing of the in the waves and in the moments of stillness and peace and the good, bad, and ugly, that we're founded upon the Lord himself. If you are waiting on the Lord, wait with a confidence, wait with hope, a confident expectation in the Lord. Wait and he will provide for you. Wait and he will answer you. Wait and enjoy him now. Wait and rest in him. Release whatever you've been holding on to, whatever has been causing you anxiety. Just cast every single fear, every single hesitancy, every single anxiety, doubt, and worry. Cast it at the Lord's feet and just wait. Because you learn God in this season in such a real way that even being on the mountaintop, even being in a place of where things are just going amazing, can't even compare to. This is where you really learn God being your anchor. Like, you learn that God is in your anchor in the waiting, in the valley. This is the place, and I pray to God that you do not overlook this time in this moment. Don't overlook this time in this moment and then have yourself go through another detour, another delay, and whatever the Lord is trying to bring you to, where he's trying to lead you to. Don't be attached to anything but to the Lord himself. Don't be attached to anything but to the Lord himself. Be founded upon him in your waiting. That's all I have to say. It's difficult. It's like sometimes you feel like you have the right to make decisions right then and there with whatever is messing with your peace, whatever is messing with you in that moment, in that time. When the Lord is like, can you just sit with me in this awkwardness, in this limbo of you just waiting? Can you just sit with me? And there, that's where character is built. And there, that's where the trust and the faith and the belief and the hope is built. It's in that waiting. And waiting, it's not an ugly time, but the circumstance may look ugly because your heart is in a wreck. But if you wait upon the Lord, the promise is that your strength will be renewed. You can't have strength renewed on the mountaintop. It comes from the moments in those valleys that you face. That's where your strength comes from. That's all I wanted to say. So wait and delight yourself in the Lord. He is your rest. He is your comfort. He is with you. He has never abandoned you nor forsaken you. So delight yourself and rest in Him. Release the situation into Him, into His hands. Yeah.